I'm so sorry.
Hi, welcome back to On the Shelf. I'm Kat, and this is my coworker, Brittny. You can see that we've decided to, use extreme caution, and we're going to be wearing our masks today. We'll try to speak loudly and clearly so you can understand what we're saying. Usually we just stay 6 feet apart, but because it is wintertime, we've decided to keep the masks on. Anyway, welcome back. We're ready to get started. Brittny, my first book today is The Borrowers by Rebecca Makkai. Is her name. It's a book about a librarian, a children's librarian, who is accidentally kidnapped by one of her small patrons, a very smart little boy. Her name is Lucy Hall. She's a young children's librarian in Hannibal, Missouri, and she finds herself both kidnapper and kidnapped when her favorite patron, 10-year-old Ian, runs away from home. The precocious Ian is addicted to reading but needs Lucy's help to smuggle books past his overbearing mother. So the two do embark on a long road trip together. There's a mysterious car behind them. Is it the police? Who is it? It's a very fun, exciting book, and especially if you are a book lover, there's lots of little Easter eggs in there about books you may have read before. It's endearing, it's sweet, and it has the moral dilemma. What do you do when you're worried about someone's safety, but it's not really your business? So it's very interesting. It's got the complexity to it that makes it a very interesting read. It was fun, and who doesn't want a good road trip right now?
That's true. That sounds like a good one. I will have to check that out. All right, so switching from fiction to nonfiction, the first selection that I'm going to be talking about is The Truths We Hold by Kamala Harris. And we do have the audiobook version available on our shelves now. So The Truths We Hold talks about Kamala's career as first a district attorney and then the Attorney General of California, her road to the U.S. senatorship, and then now she will be the next Vice President of the United States. So in looking at her upbringing, her family life, her career, this book really focuses on, this book really focuses on, oh my goodness, forgive me. This book focuses on her ideas about problem solving, what to do in crisis management, and really how to be a leader in challenging times. So if you're more interested about learning about her as an individual and kind of what she's learned from her varied career in all of those realms, this is a great one to pick up. All right.
And that one you said is available in audiobook.
It is available in audio. We do have the print book in the system, but as far as availability as of today, being fully on the shelf, the audiobook is the one that we have available. Thank you for clarifying, Kat.
My next pick is Baby Teeth by Azalea Stage. I love the psychological thrillers. This was one of my favorites. Says that Suzette is a devoted stay-at-home mother doing everything she can to connect with her 7-year-old daughter, who cannot or will not speak. But ever since Hannah was a baby, Suzette couldn't help but feel hated by her, manipulated and scared to death by her own daughter. Alex, Hannah's father, wants to believe his wife's accounts of Hannah's cruel and unusual behavior. The only problem is that Alex has never seen it for himself. Hannah shows nothing but love to him and is literally driving Suzette crazy, wondering if her 7-year-old daughter is trying to kill her. Very creepy. It's not a gory book, but it's very suspenseful. It's very disturbing. That whole idea that such a small child could be that devious and calculating, it was chilling right up to the very last sentence. So if you are looking for a chilling thrill, Baby Teeth was amazing.
I love that you used the word chilling, Kat, because when I read the title alone, it just kind of sent shivers over my body. So the fact that that's one of your descriptive words for it kind of falls in line with my expectation based on that. So Fabulous. Okay, so I've got another nonfiction selection, and I cannot recommend this book highly enough. It is called The Art of Gathering: How We Meet and Why It Matters by Priya Parker. So this book was actually suggested to me by two of our librarians here, Molly and Carol, and at first I was hesitant to read it during this time because I thought, it's just going to bum me out, reading about gatherings when we are in such a constricted period. But I ended up picking it up, and I was so glad that I did, because it really has so many important things to say about how we gather, and it really provided, principles that are important to think about during this time that I think you can definitely adapt to the amended types of gatherings we have now, such as Zoom, such as, phone. You don't have to be in person to get a lot out of this book. The way that it's structured is it really talks about creating a purpose for your gathering and really following that through in every step of the planning process and things that you provide for your guests. It includes how to be a great host, how to open and close an event. And then it's really interesting because it gives a lot of personal examples of the author, who is a professional facilitator, and what she has come across in her work in creating gatherings effectively. So cannot recommend this one enough. It was really, really interesting. And definitely highly recommend it.
And as I noted before, just the cover itself was just so nice to look at.
Yeah, very eye-catching.
Okay, and my last book today, this is one of our large print copies. It's The Bookish Life of Nina Hill by Abbi Waxman. I've read several Abbi Waxman books before, and she's hilarious. Her books are just heartwarming and fun. This one is no different. When the only child of a single mother, Nina Hill, has the life she wants, a job in a bookstore, a trivia team, and a world-class planning book. Let's see. But then the father she never knew dies and leaves her an inheritance and a lot of family. So she's an introvert, a single child who now suddenly has this big, boisterous family that she needs to get to know. And of course, it is a romantic comedy. One of her trivia enemies wins her hearts, or tries to, in this book. She's just such a thoroughly likable character. She's smart. It's a charming town that she lives in. It's a nice little release kind of book. I highly recommend The Bookish Life of Nina Hill, available in large print here.
That sounds like such a lovely way to start off the new year after such a heavy day with a light romantic comedy. It sounds like hijinks ensue, so that sounds like a really good one. All right, so now for my last selection. This is another nonfiction, and this is actually one of our new additions to the art collection, the art and craft section of our collection. So this is called Creating Textures in Pen and Ink with Watercolor. Now, I know that is a very specific title, but the reason that I'm suggesting this book is I think you can get a lot out of it, even if you are not a watercolor artist or interested in doing that. So it's such a beautiful book with color illustrations. The thing that I really love about this book, and I'll find you some of my favorite pages or kind of flip through, is it really gives a sense of how to create texture. You'll just see it's bright and colorful and gives all kinds of techniques for watercolor and all kinds of techniques for ink drawings. So again, if you're at home and you're interested in drawing, but you may not have the watercolors on hand, this is a great one to check out. They have a really beautiful section about how to draw a seabird with 8 different textures and how to make it look different. So I thought it was a really great checkout. Even if you want to just thumb through an art book, if you want to look at something beautiful for the new year, I think this is a great one. But definitely geared towards beginners. So no matter where you are in your art skills, I think you can definitely get a lot of great tips in kind of how to start. And in particular, if you're interested in both ink drawings and or watercolor, but you don't have to do both to enjoy this title, definitely. All right, so those are our selections for On the Shelf today. I hope that you've enjoyed. Remember, they are featured in this program because they are available for checkout right away. So please put them on hold, come on by the library to pick them up. And we hope everyone has a safe and happy 2021. And we will see you for the next program, episode 5 of On the Shelf. Anything else to add, Kat?
No.
All right. Bye.